Hey, welcome back to another edition of Avidgolfer Magazine's Drive Time feature. This month is a peach. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. This is the 2021 Land Rover Defender 90 First Edition. It was delayed a year due to COVID, so it's come out this year. And it is really anything you want, everything you want in a supreme off-road vehicle that's got some looks. It's got some unique features to it. It's got creature comforts. I want to thank the people over at Land Rover Grapevine for the use of the vehicle. And this will be worth your time to look at because it's a two-door and it comes in a four-door. But either way, it's something you definitely want to look at. My neighbors couldn't take their hands off it. So let's take a good long look at the 2021 Land Rover Defender 90 First Edition. So as we do the glamour walk around, I love the front end. Just has enough accent points here. This looks rugged. The lights look great. This is interesting. It's just a design feature. I'm not sure it really does anything as far as utility goes, but it breaks it up nicely, and again, it kind of adds to that rugged look to it a little bit. Like I said, headlight special. Has more black cladding trim down the bottom, just enough to accent everything. I think it looks really good. All right, so people like to see the engine compartment. Yeah, it's an engine. Yeah, it has covers, so you really don't get to see the engine a whole lot. You can get a 4-cylinder. It's got 295 horsepower. This is the 6-cylinder, 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. Probably your sweet spot. They also have a supercharged V8 that has 518 horsepower. If you ever think you need it, it's there. The gas mileage is pretty good, 19, 22. I was getting about 20. Pretty spirited driving, but it's a major off-road vehicle, even though it rides really well on the street. And that's pretty much it on the interior on this engine compartment. Doesn't have a lot of throat to it as far as exhaust, but most people don't want that anyway. It's going to put an aftermarket vehicle. That's your engine. All right, look at the profile of this car. Again, I think it all fits. The designers did a great job making it eye candy, but making it look rugged, making it look unique. These are 20-inch off-road tires, rims. Not that much, $380 for an option. Not too shabby. I like the rims. I like the way it contrasts. I'm not a black rim guy, but some people are. Again, more trim here. It looks a little more dramatic when you have a lighter color, a silver, a white, and then all this trim here. This looks almost like a Mini a little bit. It has that two-tone look. The roof rails are nice and low profile. I don't like the big high racks. Feels like I don't know what I'm driving. And here's your sunlight window right here. And as we go towards the rear, decided to mount this on the back. I guess more of a Jeep look. It's fine. Again, when you have the rear view mirror, that it's really a camera that utilizes all these cameras down here. Doesn't matter what you have stuffed in the car or having this tire affixed to the rear, it's completely clear and you can see a lane on each side. I think it's genius. I like this. It's just enough, just makes it look a little more rugged. You got a towing package down here. And let's take a look at that cargo space, because that's important when it's a two-door. Okay, the rear door doesn't go up and down. This harkens back to the previous generation Defender that was around for a long time. This one opens to the side. Now, it's actually pretty good. It goes about this far. So you're not going to be banging into another car. But since this is the two-door, this is with the seats up. I can fit a full bag in here. Just got to take out the driver, but I can still put it in the side and your Jake. All right. Now here's where it gets, this is where it gets unique and a little quirky. So I can put down these rear seats. And again, it's split row. As you can see, they don't go down all the way. If you want to get them down all the way, you have to take out the seat cushions. I've been able to load some stuff, but if it's something you need to lay flat, you have to use it. It's doable, but standard-wise, that's what it's going to look like. It's got a little bit of an angle, maybe less than 45 degrees, but you can still put stuff in there lengthwise. You can even use that middle console in there and use that as more storage, and if you have something really long going in there. But for us golfers, first thing I wanted to look at, can I get a set of clubs in without having to fold down the rear seats? And you can. And the driver just sits nice and tidy right there. So there you go. One cool feature here, you can raise and lower the chassis 6-8 inches. Actually, even more. So you can do it automatically inside the vehicle if you're going to go through some high water or whatever. That goes up a lot. But if you're, and then it'll adjust down if you need that. So it's a little bit easier to take in and out cargo, so you're not lifting stuff. And so that's kind of cool. Okay, since this is a 2-door model of the Defender, I want to show you what the back seat is like. Leg room, headroom, and you know what? I'm pretty impressed. It's got more than enough room for somebody that's 5'10", maybe close to 6 feet. Pretty good headroom. This expansive accordion-like cloth sunroof, it lets in a lot of light. In fact, it kind of reminds me of almost like a safari type car, kind of open roof and everything. This is pretty cool too. This is a little cutout, like it's almost like a skylight in your house. Lets in a little more light, which is a cool thing. They have USB-C, USB ports. They have more power ports here. They also have one behind every seat if you want to charge your phone. They have these grab handles that are handy if you're going off-road, and believe me, this puppy goes off-road. So the seats are comfortable, they're supportive, you have a lot of knee room, the seats fold down, 60-40 split. They don't go down all the way unless you take out these seat cushions, which is kind of interesting, but I was able to get in enough cargo to deal with that. But that's something to consider when you're thinking about this ride. Also has air vents down here for more climate control for the rear seat passengers, and they have cup holders in the bottom. They've really thought about everything, and I like these. One thing they've done on the inside here is make everything look kind of rugged, and I like this rubber floor mat arrangement. Pretty cool stuff. So the back seat works. A little problematic getting in, even though you can push the seats forward and you can fold them down. But once you're in, pretty good. I could stay in this car for a while and never be hindered. So good stuff, Land Rover. Okay, the interior of the Land Rover Defender 90. Again, this is the 2-door version. You can get a 4-door. It's called a 110. So people that like to have almost like an extra trunk, it's easier to get in and out of the back seat if you carry a lot of passengers, dogs, whatever. But this is the 2-door. What I love about this, Land Rover does interiors right. And what I like about it, it's rugged, yet it's got some luxury to it. It's got some cool little appointments to it. You look at these Torx screws on the side. They almost look like rivets. I think it's a nice accent to the thing. And then you have a lot of storage space, which is what I like too. It has a glove compartment down here, and that's fine. Also got a shelf right here you can put stuff in. You have room behind the screen. You have room here. You have room here, and you also have some room in the door. So you're carrying around a lot of stuff. Works out pretty well. You have 2 cup holders here. This is not a console. This is an optional, what you would call a jump seat. So what I can do, take the keys out, I can move this all the way up. Now I have a bench seat. Now, let's move over just real quick. Well, I'm gonna say, I'm not sure who would use it for, but because you're kind of in the way, you kind of have to put your feet up here, which I guess is okay. Maybe if you have a small kid, it's got seat belts and everything. It's an option. I think most people will probably use the console instead because it has storage space and you can get a refrigerated compartment in there, put your drinks in. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so that's how that works. I had to show that to you because that's something kind of interesting. Now, to lower it, I take this little tab, put it down. I have my console. It's got a little thing here, it doesn't do anything. But anyway, that's an option. Okay, so the layout of this car is awesome. The steering wheel feels good, rugged, feels great in your hands. You have a lot of controls here. This is called a TFT screen, so it's all kind of animated, although you really can't program it too much. But it gives you really everything you need. There is an optional head-up display if you want to get that. The test model does not have that. Another interesting thing is the gear shift is on the stack here, obviously not in the console. Even if you didn't have the seat here, the optional jump seat, it would still be here. I like that feature because it frees up more room in the console. The display, this is a 10-inch display. You can also get an upgraded 11-inch display, and it's got everything you need. A couple of the cool features, I think, cameras. I can get a 360 view, which is immensely helpful. As you get up in the years, and it's kind of tough to see the front end and the back end and everything, I love this 360 view, so I can keep my my parking inside the lines. You can rotate this around if you want, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you're off-roading and you're going to be near a tree or whatever, that will help. And this gives you some side views here. Kind of tells you what your wheels are doing. It's an all-wheel drive car, obviously. It gives you a little more information, which is never bad. And then, as far as other features go, you have this weight sensing feature, which is kind of cool. It says up to about 35 inches. This says 2 feet 9 inches, and it's roughly right there. You can go. I've seen it on videos that the water line goes right up to the hood, and it gets through it. I wouldn't recommend it, but it has that capability. The chassis also raises and lowers, so when you're putting stuff in the trunk, it's easier to get in and out of if you don't have to lift stuff up. That's neat. It has your 4x information, how much the wheels are being used. Again, it's a very it's an amazing off-road vehicle. I'm going to say most of the people that buy this car probably won't use that much, but people that do will love it. And if you're in inclement weather, you don't have to worry about a darn thing. Pretty cool there. The media is what it is. It has either 10 or 14 speakers you can get. It sounds really clear. Meridian's sound system is excellent. And then you have some basic controls here. I can turn off the auto stop if I don't like being in a stoplight and the engine stops and then it restarts. If you're old school, sometimes it feels weird, but it's a good gas saving feature. This will lower or raise your vehicle. That's a neat feature. And this will raise it so you can feel it. It's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. And it has the basic controls for really anything else. But the things I like most about it is just, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It has to be wired though, it's not Bluetooth as far as that feature goes. But everything else works just the same. And that's pretty much it there. You have the nav system, back, right there. You can either do voice-wise, you can save your locations, and it's very helpful. So, there you go. As far as anything else is concerned, the visibility is pretty good. Most Land Rovers are. However, you have this is kind of a Jeep type setup where the spare is attached to the rear. So, and if you have all the headrest up in the back, it compromises your view loop. But if you do that, Now it's utilizing the cameras inside the bumper, and look at how much room is there. I mean, you pretty much have a lane to the left and a lane to the right and your lane in the middle, and it gives you a lot of visibility there. I think it's genius. And then if you need to primp, and you just go right there, and you have a regular rear view mirror. As far as this goes, this is the accordion sunroof. Goes back a good ways, and it does give you that open air feel. It's kind of like a safari wagon type thing. Now when you close it, you do not have a sunroof, so once it's closed, it's just like a roof without a sunroof, obviously, but it works pretty well. You got a little sunglass holder here if you want that. You got your lights to the side, something else. So I actually turned off my phone. What's going on there? And that's pretty much it. I just like all the feel here. This is leather. This is kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a carbon fiber, but it's more rubbery, and everything just fit. Let me tell you something. The seats are really comfortable. It has great lumbar support, side bolstering, and what I love about it is you're in a rugged car, but it treats you with a little bit of opulence. So when you're driving, you don't feel beat up. It's not really stiff. It's very supportive. They did a great design on the seats, and that was one of the first things I loved when I got in the car. And there you go. You have three different you have memory settings for the driver, which is cool, especially if other people use it. You can fold in the mirrors, so when you're parking somewhere close, that's good. And again, it's only got 2 doors, so it's only got 2 windows to open and close. But again, Defender, thumbs up. All right, let's take this thing for a spin. That's obviously the most important thing when you're looking at a car. One thing you'll notice, if you have the ability to test drive this, it's a supreme off-road vehicle. It'll go over and through just about anything. And even with the special off-road tires, this thing drives just so nice and smooth. The seats are comfortable. All the infotainment settings are within easy reach. One interesting thing is there's a volume control, and it's all the way over on the right, which I find interesting because you have to reach for it a little bit. But the theory is you already have a volume control on the steering wheel, so that's more for the passenger. That kind of makes sense. I love the fact that the gear shift is off the console. Again, this is that optional jump seat if you want to use this for a third person in the front. I don't think most people would do that unless they have a dog that's got to sit right next to their owner. They have seat belts for that. Otherwise, you're going to have a console, a normal console, with a storage capability and even a refrigerated compartment for your drinks. Love that. The visibility on this, it's not as great as other Land Rovers because you have the, if you look, the seats in the back are kind of theater seats. They're more of an incline, so that you're sitting up a little bit higher than the people in the front. It's good for visibility for the passengers. But with the headrests and everything up, you can fold them down. Kind of impedes that visibility a little bit, along with the tire affixed to the rear of the Defender. But if you put this in that camera mode and it's utilizing the bumpers, now I have a full 3-row view that is completely unencumbered by whatever I have in the car, whatever I got stored, people, whatever. It doesn't matter because I can look straight out through the back, and I see everything perfectly clear. It's really good high-def cameras, and I find that that's smart. I wish more cars had that because it's a good safety feature. You can get head-up display on this. Speaking about safety features, I think all head-up displays should be a safety feature because keeping your eyes on the road, you're not fumbling down here looking for stuff. But Yeah, still an option for some people, and I guess you've never had it, you don't really miss it. Man, even if I put this in sport mode, tightens up the steering a little bit, might be a little bit more aggressive with the suspension, but usable. I mean, this is Las Colinas near our office, and has some of the worst roads in the world. This actually feels pretty good. It's got pretty good response to it. Get 0 to 60 in about 6.1 seconds, and that's pretty good. And you'll see this is the 2-door. When I make a U-turn here, it's going to be it's going to have a really tight turning radius, which is lovely. As I was driving it around, taking some friends around, they noticed also how comfortable the front seats were, all the extra storage, all the little knick-knack places, the way the materials are laid out. It has a good tactile feel to it all. 10 or 14 speakers, 14 is the option, pretty clear, and the Bluetooth is impeccable, works really well. I think this is a dream. And if you can get past the 2-seater, because it's a little problematic getting out of the back, especially if you have dogs and all that kind of stuff. You can also get the 4-door version, which is called the 110. That turning radius was sublime. It was perfect. And even if you're kind of an urbanite, city dweller, this is maneuverable enough, and it's got the 360 camera that you can park in just about any space and not be too severely limited. All in all, I find this a winner. I find it, for the supreme off-road vehicle, it's an on-road dream. I could drive this car forever. And 17, 22, 19, 22, decent gas mileage for this type of car. It can tow up to 7,700 pounds. And I think Land Rover did a heck of a job. COVID delayed it a year, so it's finally out this year in the States. And you can get a crazy fast and powerful V8 if you want it in here. 518 horsepower. Some people just gotta have it. Even if it doesn't make any sense, they just gotta have the biggest and the best. And so, car manufacturers that offer that, they'll make some extra coin out of it.
I don't understand that. Please say a command.
And I didn't say anything, so that's okay. And there you go. That's the drive portion of this review. Hope you liked it. I found this easy peasy. I found it it's not too complicated. Yeah, there's some quirks as far as the rear seat's not folding all the way flat unless you take out the seat cushions, which I read online. It's not a total hassle, but and some people that don't take a lot of passengers, if any, they just keep those seat cushions out the whole time and keep the rear seats folded down 100%. So, I love options. Options will make life worthwhile. So, Land Rover, heck of a job. If you're looking for something along these lines, I would definitely put this on a short list to test drive.
Sorry, I missed that.
And there you go. And there you go. This is the 2021 Land Rover Defender 90 First Edition. And it's awesome. And because it's got exemplary off-road capabilities, you can wade through almost 3 feet of water. Water doesn't come in through the doors because they're sealed. I want to thank the people over at Land Rover Grapevine in Texas here for the use of the vehicle. This one it starts off at $47,000. That's with the 4-cylinder. This one's the 6-cylinder. And this one, with a couple of options, the off-road tires and a towing package, runs about $66,000. You can go all the way up in the 80s. And they actually have a V8 as well, 518 horsepower. It's a lot, probably more than you need, but if you want it, you want it. But it has really everything you look at. It's got uniqueness, it's got creature comforts, it's got off-road capability, it's got comfort, the seats are great so you can drive this thing for miles, and I think it's a 2 thumbs up winner. If you're looking for a vehicle that has all these capabilities, it's a little more unique, I know the neighbors loved it. They drooled over it when it was in the driveway. Good enough for them, it should be good enough for you to test drive. The 2021 Land Rover Defender 90 First Edition.